Hello travellers, Shaku here and welcome back to another Octopath Traveler Champions of the Continent video. Hope everyone had a wonderful Christmas, and with the end of the year approaching, Square decided to release another character. Harley is a dancer that can deal elemental wind damage and have some pretty useful defensive buffs, as well as a new adjusted skill where he can deal 4 hits of wind on a single target. For stats, there really isn't anything worth to take note of, as his numbers are pretty average when compared to other dancers in the game. However, if you really want to know, his HP is ever so slightly higher, but his SP is a bit on the lower end. Harley's most notable offensive skills, in my opinion, is his one-hit AoE fan skill. This is a nice option when facing multiple enemies who are weak to fan attacks. And like I mentioned before, he has a newly adjusted skill, which is a 4-hit single target wind attack. Personally, I like this change as it hits a specific target and has an extra attack compared to the JP version, which makes it perfect for singling out an enemy for shield breaking. And lastly, Harley has a 2-hit AoE wind skill that can also inflict 15% attack down for 2 turns, which can also work in combination with other characters to reach the debuff cap. In my opinion, this is a pretty decent skill to have and slot into his build. Defensively, Harley has some useful defensive buffs that can be applied to your party. At 3 stars, he can apply a 20% defense and magic defense up to a single ally, which is great for situations where you want to buff your tank or anyone in the party that is struggling to survive big hits. On top of that, at 5 stars, Harley can buff the whole of the front row with 15% defense and magic defense up for 2 to 5 turns based on the boost level when using this skill. This can work well in combination with the previous skill to cap the defensive buff of a specific ally as well as buffing the rest of your team. As for utility, Harley has a skill that can inflict 20% wind defense down on all enemies for 2 to 5 turns based on the boost level when using this skill. This can be useful in wind focused teams to help reach the debuff cap, as there are other characters that can also apply the same debuff. Moving on to Harley's passives, they are nothing too special, as his 1-star passive is similar to Theo's, where he can gain 1 BP at the start of the battle for 2 turns. This could be useful to apply more rounds of defensive buffs or debuffs at the start of the fight. And his 3-star passive is a 3% SP recovery when taking damage from enemies, which is nice to have. However, you might find yourself putting Harley in the back row after he applies his buffs or debuffs, in turn making this passive a little redundant. Well, is Harley worth your rubies? In my opinion, Harley is a great character to have for defensive buffs and would be great in wind teams. But because we have quite a lot of wind characters and characters that can also do the same or similar things, it's probably an easy skip for most players. However, you can try your luck on the reduced first step on his banner and see if you can get him. Although, personally, I would rather save my rubies and get Harley off banner when he joins the general pool. Well, that's it for today, and as always, thank you for watching and let me know in the comments below what you think of Harley. Wish you all the best and a happy new year, and see you in the next one. Peace!